Hello, I'm going to be talking today about my final project. What is culture? Culture is a custom, art, social interactions, and achievements for a particular nation, people, and other social groups. Connections to sports. Connections? Why culture is important in sports is that there are different teams that do different rituals before a game. In particular, is rugby because they do a chant before each game to see how competitive they are. What symbols means. An object that can be defined, a person, in a sport. How it connects to sports is that a player uses different symbols to show how it is to a person, and that's how they are symbolized as. Like in my picture, there are different players that use different symbols, like LeBron James, for example. He uses basketball, and there's other players that use different symbols. Rituals is getting a routine down before each game. Connections to sports. How it connects is that players do a game day ritual as well as a post game as well. Some rituals that players would do is pray, talk to one another, handshakes, listen to music, etc. One reason is for my picture is that LeBron James does a chalk throw in the air, and that's how he would do his game day rituals. Cultural identity. Identity is when someone has expressions, feelings, memories, cultural characteristics that can be defined in sports. What it can mean in sports is that cultural identity is the meaning of sports, how someone has character in that they are shaped to be as a person. The most often is when a fan gets their identity from teams that they looked up to around the world. One reason is for my picture that different people can look up to different people, and that's how they want to get involved with their sport, is looking up to a role model, and that's how they get their identity, is looking up to role models. Gender is on specific rules that set on games and sports, being able to be different in someone else's eyes in the sport. Connections to sports. This is very powerful because females and males with two different backgrounds can come together and have a fair chance to go up against other teams to get an equal opportunity to shine in the sport that they love. One one good reason is for track and field. When two people, male and female, come together and do a race event, that is doing different genders because it stands out from the rest. Race can have a lot of barriers on a sports team because players with different skin tones. Connection to sports. Sports is standing up to your rights, especially in sports. Seeing the bigger opportunity in sports to gain a racial barrier for athletes that are competing. What I mean by this is for track and field, having different athletes with different skin tones being able to compete against each other and win for the number one spot. Class. Having class is the sport cause the sport in the different equipment depending on the sport. If someone in class, if someone is in class, whatever that means to them, someone would use a resource that requires them to use the sport they are in and how they would rethink on what class they are in. Overall thoughts. Overall, the concepts of sports is that there is a lot of things going on into a person when performing in whatever sport they're in. It can tie to all the concepts together from symbols, rituals, identities in a person, and it could continue to define them in that sport. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.